Hello everyone, my name is Pat Kotcherag and my final project is on the Target Corporation. I will be going over some background information of the company, and then I will talk about the two primary issues within the company that they have been dealing with within the past decade. I will also be covering the competitive strategy, SWOT analysis, Porter's Five Forces, and strategic alignment. The company was founded by George Dayton. He was a banker in 1902. It started out as a small dry goods store, then eventually turned into a multi-million-dollar retailer right before the Great Depression. Fast forward to 1962, the Target chain was created in Roseville, Minnesota. A few years later, the company would then go public and change its name to Dayton Corporation. They acquired multiple subsidiaries and established multiple joint ventures. They continued to grow in the 80s and 90s. And by the year 2000, the company had renamed itself to Target Corporation, and efforts were implemented to battle the e-commerce wave and the dot-com boom. By 2005, the corporation reached $50 billion in sales for the first time and established themselves as one of the leaders in the discount retail industry. By 2013, Target suffered one of the biggest data breaches ever recorded during the holiday season. I'll be talking about in a little bit. This was the first incident where their CEO has stepped down from such type of incident, and the new CEO, Brian Cornell, stepped in 2014 to revitalize the company. He implemented a new three-step supply chain strategy that focused on strategic positioning, new fulfillment processes, and facility structures. So for their business model, Target integrates strategy where they integrate both cost leadership and differentiation between the broad and narrow markets. Target's business strategy focuses on the shopping experience of their customers called guests. Their focus is on the middle class, families with average income, slightly higher than Walmart's. They focus on providing a wider variety of products to a more selective market than Walmart. We all heard jokes about going to Target, buying one thing, and then leaving with multiple, and that's due to their clever marketing, strategic positioning, and treasure hunt-like shopping experience that keeps customers coming back. For their SWOT analysis, for strengths, they benefit from a large size and resources, so they have a large economies of scale. They have a strong portfolio and a high customer satisfaction. Weaknesses, obviously the data breach, organization structure, and they're pretty average on innovation efforts. For opportunities, domestic and international expansion, online market, and the growth of their private labels. Threats, there's intense competition in retail and the changing consumer behavior, which affects associated costs such as labor rates. As far as the five forces, threats of new entrants is pretty moderate. Only competitors are Walmart, Costco, Kroger, those big established players. Bargaining powers of buyers is pretty low. Target has built a large customer base and high quality brand image over the years. Bargaining power of suppliers is low. There's abundance of suppliers in the retail industry, so switching costs is fairly low. Threat of substitutes is moderate. Small retailers and e-tailers are threats, but they do not provide similar value such as the shopping experience that Target offers. Level of competition is pretty high. The nature of the retail business, competition is always strong. They face challenges by those big players, but so they have to keep up in terms of value. So the 2013 data breach, cyber attackers were able to gain credentials from a third party, and they were able to spoof that to gain access to Target's point of sale system. They retrieve customers' information, including credit, debit card information, and this was the turning point as it affected the retail industry, but it was also a key point to place cybersecurity as a legitimate supply chain risk. It changed the perception of businesses as organizations must not only be concerned with the organizations that they conduct business with, but also the organizations that those businesses also conduct business with. The estimated cost of the breach was around close to $300 million to Target in multiple settlements, credit monitoring services, and other associated costs. This is just the brand index rating from the time of the breach up until 2018. So The three-step strategy that the new CEO implemented has three pillars: positioning, store improvements, and innovation. Positioning, so instead of focusing on multiple markets, the Target decides to only focus on its core customers, young families. Store improvements, this includes a store redesign of their brick and mortar stores. They also rolled out flexible formats such as City Target and Target Express, which are small stores located in population dense areas. They also invested heavily on their online market, acquiring a startup Upship to help them offer more options such as ordering online and the ability to pick up in store. Innovation, they changed their fulfillment strategy by using their retail stores as mini distribution centers. So they also focus on private label growth and then implementing data-driven technology to help them lower some of their logistics-related costs. So in order for Target to be successful with their new three-step strategy, they must ensure there's a strategic alignment among its capabilities and resources with their efforts and processes that they implemented. For my analysis, I broke down the organization to the three primary high-level functions of distribution, marketing, sales, and human resources. So then I broke down how these functions and their corresponding departments are aligning capabilities for support. So what I did was for their strategic alignment, I analyzed the strategy that they put in place, what some of the goals are, and how they were going to execute it. Then I was able to identify some of the impact to the organization. And in conclusion, Target has been the model of an adaptive organization. They've been very successful to integrate cost leadership and differentiate strategies through their business model, and now it has established themselves as one of the leaders in the retail industry. They've been able to strategically align their organization goals with their business, marketing, and supply chain strategies. They have survived disasters, including the data breach and the failure of their Canada expansion efforts. They use those incidents to revitalize their supply chain, and as a result, the company is postured for sustainability. That concludes my presentation. And if you have any questions, please comment on my discussion post. And I thank you guys for viewing this presentation. Thank you.